Okay, YouTube. Bike's coming along really well. Got the engine inside, the frame. I don't have the carburetor on yet. I do not have a muffler. Going to have to order that. Got the kickstand, the kickstart on. Got my gas lines here. I ran them through. It's all hooked up, ready to go. Battery's on. Gas tank's on. Whatever switches I have are on. My ignition switch. Everything's on. So now is a moment of truth. Is it going to have any spark? Because I did not check the coil. Should have done that. For the stator, I put a new set of points and condenser. That was it. So let's see what happens when we kick her over. Okay, so I'm going to look for the spark plug. My spark plug is grounded. The ignition is on, and I'm just going to kick her over by hand, very slow. I don't have any oil in the engine yet, so don't want to mess things up. Let's see what happens. Oh, sorry. That didn't work too well. Let's see if I can get a better shot here. We got spark, folks. As you can tell, hopefully this shows up on the video. I've got a nice blue spark. So it's good. So we're all set. Next step now is to hook up the fuel. Well, actually I'm going to flush out the engine first. I had the oil plug. I had a Healy coil put into it. Had a machine shop. And I don't trust that they've didn't get any filings in there, although I couldn't see any. And the guy said he did put grease on the end of the tap, but I don't want to take a chance. All this work, and so I'm gonna flush it out, then put some fresh oil, put the carburetor on, hook up the gas, and see if the carburetor holds the gas, doesn't flood, and order the exhaust. Then we'll be able to start this thing. Hello, YouTube. Well, here's the bike on its own stand. Got the foot peg kickstand combo on. Pretty easy to put on. Doesn't involve too much. 4 bolts. The what you do have to remember is that you need to put the skid plate first, and then the kickstand. So there's 4 bolts that hold the kickstand. The 2 front bolts also bolts up the skid plate. So the skid plate goes first, kickstand bracket goes over top of it. Not too sure if you can see here, but if you take a look right there, you can see where it goes in first. See if I can get a little closer shot here. So, as you can tell, let me get myself positioned. You look underneath, you can see where the bracket, where the skid plate goes on first, and then the kickstand. So there's 4 bolts, 2 front bolts hold the skid plate and the footrest or kickstand bracket, and the 2 back ones are just for the kickstand. So it's coming along pretty good. Gonna put the seat on today. I'm also missing the 4 bolts that hold the front part right here of the skid plate. Go right here. So I'm gonna have to go to the hardware store for that. And also, hopefully today I'll have a chance to hook up the rear brakes here. Now on this bike, I find that interesting, the handbrake. Okay, so I've got the handbrake here for the front, and also I got a handbrake here for the back. It's kind of like a combo thing where there's a lever that it does both. Does the front handbrake and foot brake. But I'll show you how that works in a bit. Okay, YouTube, I got the back brakes figured out. If you are taking one of these apart and you happen to have my model anyway, the 74, which is a K3, you'll notice that you have this interesting design. So the way it works is that this one here, which is in the back, I don't know if you can see it right here, that slides on your shaft first, and then after that, this one here, which is kind of hollow in the center, the brake slides in the middle. Anyway, the whole thing goes in together like this. So the way it works is that, of course, when you're pressing the brakes, there you go, right? Makes sense? Hopefully you can see this a little bit better. But like I was saying, this here goes on the shaft first, right? So make sure this pin right here is on the back side of this lever. Now this lever here, that's where your rod hooks up for your brakes. Now the pedal right here goes into here. The whole thing just slides onto the shaft right here. This washer goes over top, and you get a cotter pin here. So, and then you hook up also right here for your brake lights. So, when you're pressing the brake pedal, see, it pulls this right here, and your light comes on. Now, here's the interesting part. For the handbrake, when you pull on the handbrake, I haven't hooked it up yet, but anyway, when you pull on it, this will also, right, pushes, see? This little lever right here pulls on this, but the brake pedal stays in one place. Pretty neat, eh? Anyway, next step is to put the handbrake on. Okay, so I got my crankcase protector, I guess this is called. Got it mounted up here. Same with the other side, 2 bolts, or 10 mil bolts. Got my carburetor in right here. I don't have the, I've got the air filter, I just don't have it mounted up right now. I know it can be a big pain in the butt to put in. I just don't have the foam for it right now, so I'm just gonna get it started without the air filter. It'll be fine. And now I just gotta connect my gas lines. So I'm not too sure which one is what though. I know I have a on in reserve. Don't know which one it is, so I'll have to figure that out. It's coming along pretty good. I still gotta put the handles on for the brakes. I don't want to try it out without brakes, and I still have to flush out the engine from the time I got my oil drain plug tapped out. I don't really trust that they got all the filings out. I'd rather just flush it out, peace of mind, and put fresh oil. That's it for okay, YouTube. Just working on the bike here. Got the carburetor on, as you can tell, and I've ran the throttle cable, and one thing I've noticed on these cables, on the throttle, is that they don't really snap back, as you can tell. And I've taken mine apart, I've re-greased it, done everything I can think of, and it still doesn't snap back like I think it should. Maybe I'm just used to driving my motocross, and mine just snaps right back, but this one doesn't. So, not too sure what the fix is. Like I said, I've cleaned mine up, re-greased it. I tried lithium grease, didn't make a difference, so I cleaned it all up. Then I tried regular grease, didn't make a difference either. I also took the handle apart, which is basically, I'm not too sure if you'll be able to see it, but just one screw right here. You take this off, this slides right off the sleeve. Anyway, I cleaned it all up. I checked inside, because it kind of rubs right here, right? And to see if there's any burrs or anything, and there isn't. So, don't know. And from what I've read on the posts, it's quite normal for these things. A lot of guys make fun, say that they've got cruise control. But, you know, if it was just me riding it, I wouldn't be too concerned. But it's going to be my wife and kids. So, yeah, not too sure. I'll see what I can do about it later. Got the chain on, as you can tell. Got it all adjusted. It wasn't too bad. The chain I bought was a little too long, so I had to take quite a few links out. That's okay. Worked out. Now, the manual says that you should have, from here to here, 1 to 2 centimeters. So I probably got a little more than I should. But the chain's going to stretch anyway. It's a brand new chain. So I'll adjust it again. It's not a big deal. So 1 to 2 centimeters for the adjustment. And I'm going to put my cover here. There's a chain guard that goes over top. And then I'll put my side cover here for my magneto and covering up the chain, the front sprocket. So I think I need to put this cover first and then the chain cover right here. So it's coming along. Hopefully today I'll be able to get those done, and also flush the oil out. Got a few more nuts and bolts to go look for to put on the brake cable, and do a good flush for the oil, and hopefully be able to start this up pretty soon. See how it runs.